Hey, yo, look at skinny Logan. Oh man, what a time to be alive,
Yeah.
bro.
Hey, listen, guys. If you don't know, man, filters can do wonderful things. And also skinny mirrors. Have you not seen that in the dressing stores? I love it how when you go to a rest store, those mirrors make you look about 50 pounds lighter. It's a
Oh my
beautiful thing. It's
I
a
want to buy
beautiful
one.
thing. Hey, listen, guys. Hey, welcome to Unscripted. Please like, share, subscribe. Hey, we appreciate all the love. John Suggs chimes in real quick off the rip and says, I called the upset of Northwestern taking down those corn suckers. Today, laugh out loud, Scott Frost be lucky to make it out of September. I
I
agree,
forgot
man.
college football.
It was a good game. If you didn't catch that Northwestern game, I know in that first part you thought Nebraska was going to roll away, and then man, Northwestern just came back and put it on them. Pride, how are you, sir?
That's a touchdown. Come on. Sorry.
So Jay,
Dolphins are up
thank
7.
you, Jay. Oh,
Yes.
you too, Rob? You too? Fine, whatever. I'll go
What?
next.
And my Dolphins are up 17-0 on the Eagles right now, man.
Did you see that? Yo, and it's funny too. Everyone tells me Tua can't throw. First play of the game, he was like, "Yeah, I could throw." I think Tyreek Hill, I think it was.
Yeah,
Tua could
I didn't watch it though, but yeah.
Yeah,
hey, I'm telling you, I've been saying, watch out for Tua. I think he's gonna do something this year. Now, of course, it's preseason. I don't want to get too old.
Yeah, we know that.
But man,
Colts offense just looked real good on a drive against Tampa.
Who cares?
Yeah,
nobody.
The Eagles weren't playing their starters either, man. The Eagles weren't playing their starters either,
brother.
I'm good, Jay. I'm alive. I'm kicking somehow. I stumbled through this thing we called life, and I'm still breathing. How are you doing?
Man, hey, I'm stumbling right there with you, and I'm still kicking as well. Gonzo, what's up, brother?
Not a whole lot. Watching a little bit of this Colts game before I start watching these fights.
Yeah, I'm just watching my Astros get their butts kicked 3-0 to the Orioles right now, top of the fourth. So I don't know, man. I don't know if there's enough Jack in the world that can make this game feel better for me, but we're gonna take it as it comes. Big shot, Rob.
You're gonna find out if there's enough, aren't you?
Big shot, Rob, man. What's up,
Not much, man. Just here at work, man. Just chilling, man. Just check the score of the Dolphins game. They're up now 24-0 on the Eagles, but the Eagles aren't playing their starters. But the Dolphins did play their starters early on, so this game looks pretty much over. It's the preseason, so it doesn't really count. So, yep, that's just a quick update on that. And let's get this show started. I want to hear this draft recap.
Yeah, and again, so for those of you, I put it in the comments of the show when I displayed over there on Facebook, and basically this is just unscripted, kind of going over how the draft unfolded, what we think about it, what the surprises are, what the predictions are, what our thought process was in drafting as we went along. And in this show, you kind of got me. I drafted. It's a 20-man league. First of all, let me put that out there. It's a 20-team league. I drafted about 8. I think Gonzo drafted at 7th.
No, I was 9th.
Okay, 9th. So I was 8th. Gonzo was 9th. Rob was at number 5.
You kept screwing me all night.
And I think
every damn time I this is the player I'm going to take. Jay picked right before me and take the damn player I wanted. Like, motherfucker.
Hey man, listen. I think me and you might have had that telepathy going. I don't know. And then there was a couple of times, I'll be honest, there was a couple of times you took something when it was coming the reverse from bottom up to top. You took a couple of my guys, so I don't want to hear it. It is. And then we had Big Shot Rob, who drafted at 5, who had a pretty good draft spot himself. And then we had Pride. I think that was down around, 18, 17? I don't know. I know you were somewhere in that neighborhood.
I got the shaft. I was second to last.
I call collusion. How the hell did Frankie end up with the number 1 pick? I call
honestly
collusion.
that's BS. I don't care what it says.
Yeah, hey, listen. If any of you guys saw,
I want a redraft.
The draft, I called it out to you. I said, Frankie, this is some bullshit.
You guys watch that TV show, The League?
Hey, but you know what? But again, I told
Yeah.
you guys, I never get top 5. I always get middle of the
Collusion.
pack or at the bottom. And what did I get? Number 8, almost at the halfway point.
Yeah.
It is what it is. And I think Logan was down there too. Logan was, I think he was
15.
around 15, somewhere in that neighborhood. So Logan got, it was a random ass draft. Frankie just got the lucky draw of the random. But then again, his wife I think she just got $111 on 2 races at the track. So maybe he's just riding that lucky wave right now. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
But let me ask you this. So we went into a 20 team league. And I think the challenges, of this league are going to be in the bye weeks, right? I mean, there ain't but so many starting quarterbacks. There's only so many starting defenses. There's only so many starting kickers. I mean, I was making that comment to, I don't know if I said it to Logan or Frankie, but I'm like, these guys they better be picking up some backup quarterbacks or, something to that level. So when they hit that bye week, they got something to draw off of, because I'm telling you, when you hit that bye week and there's no quarterback there. Now, I do think there is one. I think Brissett is still there, but that just depends on if you get it. It depends on when your bye week is. But I think Brissett is the only starting quarterback as of right now that's actually available in the league. And I just gave you a little nugget there. But top to bottom.
Damn.
No, Joe Flacco.
Yeah, you're right.
Joe Flacco's starting because Zach Wilson's out. And then you know who else is? Geno Smith.
Geno Smith is starting over.
Yeah, because he got the week 1 nod over in Seattle.
Geno did get the nod over Locke?
Yep.
Yeah, he got it. They announced it earlier today that he started. So basically, like the next 3 top players are all quarterbacks. It is Joe Flacco, Geno Smith, and Jacoby Brissett.
Now, did Geno get it because dude had the COVID, or did he get it?
I don't know. They only announced him for week 1.
I don't know.
Yeah, they announced him for week 1. I think it came down to the I don't know if y'all saw the last preseason game. Homie, Drew Lock is not a quarterback. Let's just get that out. He is not good. He's horrible.
Right.
So you have to be pretty bad if Geno Smith beat you out.
To be honest. And rumor has it that Geno Smith was like the consensus, unanimous, like we're going with him. And
I've been hearing for a couple of weeks that he was going to start.
Yeah, like jeez, but yeah, those are the top 3.
To Anthony Price, I told you, I said, listen, this draft ain't gonna be like your normal.
What in the hell just happened?
No, I don't know.
We lost.
Jay must have.
I don't know.
I don't have those kind of controls tonight.
I don't know. No. I think he got like a power outage or something because he has the slides up too, and the slides are out too. So I think he's going to. You know what? We're audible.
We're gonna wait.
On audible. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, we're just gonna wait.
Here, wait,
he's back. He's coming.
Put yourself in.
He's not back yet.
This would be
unscripted.
No technical difficulties.
He did a magic trick on us, man. He did a magic trick on us.
My wife has this mouse, and it's got about 1,000 buttons on it, and I don't know what so let me leave it alone.
Okay.
I'm just saying. She's got this fancy.
I was like, I don't have any kind of controls tonight.
Yeah, I was about to say. By the way, AP asked
Anthony Price. Look, man,
real quick. He asked who's worse.
20-team league. That means you have to strategize.
Oh no, you're gonna be hit. You're gonna be hit. He asked who's worse, Drew Lock or Jordan Love. I mean, honestly, Jordan Love, because Drew Lock kind of had a chance to go.
Yeah, Love hasn't had a chance to see what he can do.
Right. I feel like if it was Jordan Love, Geno Smith would have been the week 1 starter before the preseason even existed, type of thing. So
before I get into this draft, we're about to get into it. Before I get into it, I just want to know what you guys' thought process is of the bye week and how bad is this going to hurt people when they hit.
Well, it depends. Like, so when I draft, I constantly have bye weeks in my head.
Yeah, you have to.
Like, I'm dying.
You don't want half your team to have the same bye week.
And not only that, like, because obviously they're gonna have a bye week, but it really comes down to: am I dying? Do I sound weird?
No, you sound good to me.
Nah, you're good. You're good, man.
My fault.
Get a glass of water or something, man. Get a glass of water.
I might, bro, because I think I'm dying. But
come on, man.
Now bye weeks are very critical because, like, I've seen guys literally their entire season fall apart because they've had 3 bye weeks in a row where they lost somebody that's very, very, very critical to them.
Yep.
And they ended up like losing like that. Like, I tell people all the time, when you draft, not only do you have to keep that in mind, but also keep in mind, like, some of the guys that you draft, you got to be willing to get rid of them. You know?
Yeah, that's absolutely. I agree with that.
You know what I mean? Like, wheeling, dealing, bro. Jeez, man. Like,
and I feel like in this league, there's gonna have to be some trades made at some level for people to stay competitive. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'm curious to see who makes the first trade, and I'm curious to see what these trades actually are. It's going to be interesting to see that. Let's just get into John Suggs. Before I get into it, John Suggs says, Panthers, Darnold will miss 4 to 6 weeks with injury. That dude is a bomb regardless. I think he said bum. Regardless, they need to eat the contract and move on from him. Baker might be the guy, though. I don't know, man. I guess we're going to find out. Yeah, Sam Darnold's going to be off for a hot minute.
Baker's taking the Panthers to the playoffs.
Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but Corral is out for the season. So there really is nobody behind Darnold. Well, there's nobody, period. I mean, who is the backup for him?
The backup's hurt. I forget who it is.
Yeah, I was about to say they drafted Matt Corral, and he got hurt. He got hurt before Sam Darnold got hurt.
Yeah, he did. That's what I'm saying.
And he's out for
they have
an
actual backup now.
No, they have. What's his name? The one that everyone said he should have started. Oh, thank you, Johnson. PJ
Walker.
They stopped PJ Walker.
Okay, PJ Walker.
He's basically, he's basically like the last. Now, if Baker goes down, after that, it's PJ Walker. Then they got their punter problem.
They're done.
All right, let's get into this.
Baker's taking them to the playoffs.
I'm gonna go through this list. Okay, first I'm gonna go through this list first, and what I want you guys to do is after I get done with the list, you're gonna obviously you'll be able to see it. I want you guys to tell me what who didn't get back to this should have got like with the highs, the lows, with the surprise. Just give me your take on the first round of what you guys think, and we're gonna go Pride first, then Gonzo, and then Robert. You can wrap up each round as we go through what your thought process is on the actual round itself. So we had obviously no surprise here. We had Frankie taking Jonathan Taylor #1. Mm-hmm. We had Brady from a Cowboy Life podcast. He took Austin Eckler #2. By the way, Brady is last year's champion. We had Kenny taking Christian McCaffrey at 3. We had Taylor taking Justin Jefferson at 4. We had Dalvin Cook go to Big Shot Rob at 5. Cooper Kupp went to Mike at 6. 7 was Jamar Chase to Leonard Crisp. Derrick Henry was my pick at #8. #9 is Joe Mixon for Gonzo. 10 is Devontae Adams for Ben. Deebo Samuel went to Joshua Bailey with his podcast. Stephon Diggs went to Franco. Najee Harris went to Fred. Nate took CeeDee Lamb. Barkley went to Logan. Fournette went to Dustin, the stat guy. Nick Chubb was Anthony Price's pick at 17. 18 was Travis Etienne to Damian, and Alvin Kamara was Pride's pick at 19. And then Travis Kelce was Redbeard's pick. That's one of my boys from the Army. Travis Kelce at 20. A couple of things, Pride. I'm going to tell you, my thing is Alvin Kamara, given that he's going to be out, we don't know how many games. That kind of surprised me, but it didn't. I mean, I think I understand what your thought process is. We all know how good Alvin Kamara is. He's not going to be out forever. So I do understand why you took Alvin Kamara, but I want you kind of to give, what your thought process for drafting at 19 where you were. I think Barkley for Logan, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm taking Barkley. I just don't believe in him. I think it's an injury thing for Logan. So I kind of, was a little worried where he drafted at #10. I I thought it was interesting to me to see how many wide receivers went off the board real quick over some of the other running backs, given that how limited the running backs are. But again, I understand what they're thinking is because you're probably taking best available if the running back that you wanted wasn't there anymore. I thought Cooper Kupp being drafted over Justin Jefferson. Not that, hey, we all know what Justin Jefferson does. We also know what Cooper Kupp and Matt Stafford and the connection in which they have. We know, I know, man. I think I'm taking Cooper Kupp over Jefferson if I'm going to go quarterback route, but I still think I'm taking Dalvin Cook at that point as well. That was just my kind of thoughts. Brady taking Austin Eckler, I can see that. I mean, I think Austin Eckler is going to be a good spot there. Christian McCaffrey at 3. He's been projected in a lot of different mock drafts at 3. I think that injury bug is what I'm scared of drafting him. All right, Pride, thoughts first round.
So first of all, let me explain my Alvin Kamara pick, right? Let me explain that real quick. So first and foremost, he's not going to get suspended this year. Okay. It's very unlikely that he gets suspended. So I basically entered that, like when it was my pick, I had that in the back of my head. Usually the NFL waits for the legal outcome to happen before they do anything.
Yeah, probably next year before he
next year is when he's probably going to get suspended. And this ain't I think it's dynasty is when you have the same roster you carrying over to next year. I ain't got to worry about it. Okay? You can get suspended for the full year next year. I don't care. I just need you this year. Right? So that was my thought process going in. I'm shocked that Austin Eckler went second. And the reason why I'm shocked is because not a lot of people respect Austin Eckler. No one really respects him as not only an elusive back, but also being a threat in the catching game. Very few people really respect him.
Yeah.
So when he went second, I was like, all right, that's, interesting. The Christian McCaffrey one, that one, I don't know. I would not have. This is just me. I'm not taking CMC in the top 3 rounds. Let's just be honest. And it's not because of the talent, it's the injury bug. The same problem why I refuse under any circumstances to touch Saquon Barkley. It's the same exact reason. I'm not gonna put all my eggs. And also, it really was a concern with talking about Joe Mixon.
Right.
Justin Jefferson over Jamar Chase kind of shocked me a little bit, only because the entire Jamar Chase kind of wave and whatnot. And I had Jamar Chase in one of my things last year. He gave me like a stupid, I think it was he gave me 40 points one week. Like towards the end of the season, he gave me 40 points. Bless his heart. And then there's one more person that can you scroll down? I need to refresh my memory because there was one more.
I can scroll down. Hold on, give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, there was one more I saw.
Which number were you looking at, or just tell me what you think?
Keep going. Where was it? 18, right for Travis Etienne. I have no idea why Damien would get Travis Etienne. I don't know. Especially
at least
considering
not in that round anyway.
Right, yeah. If you want to get him in late second, early third, all right.
Especially with Kelsey and Kamara available.
Because I can see Etienne as a flex, in later rounds. But in the first round, I'm not taking Etienne. Like you said, I didn't really. I was a little leery of Kamara because I was just holding.
I was surprised Kelsey was at 20.
Yeah, man. Hey, Damien,
he was gonna go higher,
brother, but I think you kind of screwed up.
Yeah, I thought Kelsey would go sooner than 20.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I think he definitely screwed up. I think he screwed up. I don't know that. I believe Dustin took Fournette at 16.
Leonard Fournette? Settle down, Dustin. You're smarter than that.
Oh, yeah. And Jay, I was surprised that Derrick Henry fell all the way to 8 to you.
Man, me too. When I see Derrick Henry fall to 8, I dang near almost shit myself. Pardon my French.
So I was sitting there, damn, I'm gonna get Derrick Henry. And then Jay took him, signed up with Mixon, but I was like, damn.
But again, let me ask you guys a question. Nick Chubb. I want to point out Nick Chubb for a second. Anthony Price drafted Nick Chubb. And, let me ask you this. Nick Chubb really benefited off of Baker last year because even though Baker's not the best in the league, he still has a passing game. So I think that really helped out Chubb in his running game. Now that Brissett is going to be running the show, at least until week 11 when Deshaun gets there, how much is that going to hurt Nick Chubb's value? I wonder about him.
I don't
Can I
think
be
it hurts.
honest?
I think he's going to get more carries.
Thank you. And that's honestly what I was gonna say.
I don't think the carries is the issue. What I'm saying is will they start stacking against the run, preventing that?
Well, but that's the problem because if you stack him against the run, guess what he can do? He can go catch the ball.
It opens up the passing lanes. I get
Right,
that.
so he can actually still go out and catch the ball. So it's not like if they stack the box,
Well, their
all of a
offense
sudden
to be
Nick Chubb
good
is
with
useless.
Brissett, Chubb's going to have to be able to run the ball. If they can't run the ball with Chubb, they're going to be in trouble.
And honestly, and you know what I honestly think helps is the fact that even though he wants out, you still have Kareem Hunt.
Yep.
So even though you need to be run heavy, you can give Nick Chubb extra touches, but you still have another starting caliber running back as the backup.
Yeah, you have a good 1-2 punch there.
Right. So now he could be in a situation where,
and they're different style of runners as well.
He was trying for Montgomery. What, you want your entire roster to be Chicago Bears? Come on, brother.
Mm.
I don't know, but
I will say this. That 30 seconds gets up on your butt.
Yeah,
quick.
30 seconds was a little quick.
I love
it.
30 seconds gets up on your butt.
I would have liked like 45 seconds.
Nah, but then again, I'll be honest with you. When look, the way you got to be looking at that is you got to have at least 3 or 4 picks in your mind. So when that 30 seconds hit, you got to see what those 4 picks you had.
I spent the first 5 seconds of the 30 seconds cussing you, usually.
I was, and this is another thing I always tell people.
Put those picks in the queue, man.
Like while I'm in between, especially because we had like over 3,000 people in this draft, I was like queuing guys up the entire time.
Yeah,
right.
So that way, if it came to me and I was watching,
that's a smart thing to do, though.
Yeah, I was watching some stuff. That way, if I doze off and I end up missing my pick, I'm really not mad about it because I already had like at worst I had 3 guys in my queue. Most of the time, I was rocking 6 or 7.
All right, I got a question. I just want to ask you guys. I want you guys to grade Logan taking Saquon at 15. What do you think about that?
I'll be honest. I'm giving him a D.
Because, I didn't think that was a good pick. And I love Logan, but I didn't think that was a good one.
Now, I say that now. However, if Saquon explodes, then it's a beautiful pick for him.
Right.
Let
me go up for a little second, though. Let's look at Deebo Samuel at 11 to Joshua. I think Deebo Samuel is going to be that. I mean, because you can run him, you can pass with him, you can catch. I think that was a good spot at 11 for him to go. I mean, I think he definitely got a steal in this draft. I think Deebo is a good steal because you could play. You could play well. You can't play him at running back. That's the only downside.
No, but you could. But the thing is, I was about to say, if you put Deebo at flex, whatever he does, whether it's running or passing, you get those points.
Exactly. Right. That's why you draft a guy like that.
Right. You draft him and you put him at the flex.
Barkley to me is like a 50-50 chance.
Let me ask you guys a question. I did.
Hold on, Jay. Hold on, because Rob was saying something. There you go. Go ahead, Rob.
I apologize. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying about Barkley. Barkley has a 50-50 chance to probably do something this year, but obviously you worry about the injuries. But if he's able to stay healthy, I think he could do something. But the problem is he's just not able to stay healthy. And then, obviously with Deebo Samuel, you know what you got in him because he can run, he can catch the ball. So, he's good in that flex spot.
Real quick, question is Gonzo drafted at 9, and he took Mixon, which is that's a good pick. I took Henry, but I was contemplating Mixon. I mean, what do you think that Henry's going to have a better year than Mixon? Because Mixon actually did really, really well last year.
Yeah, he did. I think the Bengals have a better offense, if you ask me, than Tennessee. I think Tennessee losing A.J. Brown.
Sorry, Rob, go ahead.
No, I think Tennessee's offense is just going to drop off a little bit this year, losing A.J. Brown. But they did get Robert Woods. I think it'll help. Hopefully Henry is fully healed off that foot injury. I think he is. He played a little bit last year at the end of the season during the playoffs. But I was a little bit hesitant to take Derrick Henry. I was thinking about taking him. Then I was like, you know what? Like I've had Henry a couple years in my league. I'm going to go with Dalvin this year. So go ahead, Chris.
Plus, they still have Ryan Tannehill.
That's what. Well, I was going to say they're not. I was going to take Henry ahead of Mixon because I think Tennessee's going to lean toward the run more than what Cincinnati is because Cincinnati has Burrow, Tennessee has Tannehill. But
So
when
let
you
me
took
ask you this,
Henry, I knew
Gonzo.
I was taking Mixon.
Looking at the first round, Gonzo, what was your impression of the first round? Like, did anything surprise you?
I was surprised that Henry dropped all the way to 8. I didn't think Henry would be available at 8. That was probably the bigger surprise to me. And even Mixon, I was kind of surprised Mixon was at 8.
Right.
And I agreed with Pride. The Eckler pick kind of surprised me.
Right. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Big shot Rob. So after 3, 4, and 6 and 7 picks were all receivers: Chase, Cup, and Jefferson. Were you surprised to see those receivers go off the books when Henry and Mixon were still available, knowing that how limited that running back spot would be?
Not at all, because I mean, all those guys right there are top wide receivers. They're all going to get a lot of targets this year, and with running backs, they get injured a lot. And if you have a good one that happens to stay healthy, that's great. But I mean, you want to try to stack your team with as many running backs as you can. So if 1 or 2 get hurt, like, you do have those backups. So what my strategy is to try to get maybe 5 running backs and 5 wide receivers, because wide receivers, I mean, they do get hurt as well. But man, it's tough to draft when you have that many guys that you can pick from. It's just tough. And I always like to go with the running back first, because I just think that's like the hardest position. It's not the hardest position to draft, but if you can find a good, reliable running back that's a running back one, you have to take them, because I think they're just it's harder to find good running backs than it is wide receivers. Wide receivers, you can always find them some in the later rounds.
That's what I was thinking. Like, I know how good those receivers are, but I also know how hard it is, to find a good running back. And when Derrick Henry and Mixon are on the board, and you're taking, a wide receiver, not that that's bad, but at the same time, like you said, this is going to be extremely hard. It's going to be slim pickings by the time you come back that second time around. And you're going to be, like you said, bargain basementing. And I don't know if taking a receiver that early, even though he's good, is better than, a Henry or a Mixon when you had the opportunity to grab those guys. And that's kind of what surprised me the most. Real quick, so we're going to get into the second round. The second round featured Redbeard, and this is, like I said, kind of the reverse part of the snake. So you got Redbeard drafting Aaron Jones at 21, which, by the way, I'm good to that. Aaron Jones at 21. Deandre Swift went to Pride at 22. J.K. Dobbins went to Damian at 23. Josh Allen went to Anthony at 24. Mike Evans went 25 to Dustin. Logan grabbed Tyreek Hill at 26. Mark Andrews went to Nate at 27. 28 was Keenan Allen to Fred. Zeke went 29 to Franco. Kyle Pitts went to Joshua Bailey at 30. Javonte Williams, the running back, 31, went to Ben. Gonzo took David Montgomery at 32. Cam Akers went to me at 33. Micah Pittman, 34 to Lennon. And James Conner, the running back for Arizona, 35 to Mike Montez. And A.J. Brown went 36 to Big Shot Rob. Josh Jacobs, 37 to Taylor. Tony Pollard at 38 went to Kenny. Allen Robinson went to Brady and at 39. And then Frankie took Mike Williams at pick 40. I'll be honest with you. I got to be honest with you. I think one of the things that surprised me, number one, is that Aaron Jones and Deandre Swift made it to the second round. I kind of thought they could have made, one of those guys could have made it in the first. J.K. Dobbins, not really so much a surprise there. Josh Allen was a big surprise at 24, only because I felt like there was other receivers on the board, tight ends on the board that could give you points that are going to be hard to come by. I think those quarterbacks probably could have gone in third or fourth round. So for Anthony to pull the plug and pick Allen at 24 kind of surprised me. Logan grabbing Tyreek Hill I don't know. Again, you're gonna have to hope that Tua makes those it hits him on the balls, and if Tua does his part, then Tyreek will look great. And I'm just saying, when you got Keenan Allen on the board, Kyle Pitts, Mark Andrews, which Mark Andrews is damn near the number one receiver in Baltimore. And then you got David Montgomery still on the board. I mean, that's a good pick, Gonzo. I think Montgomery is better in my opinion than Dobbins. I think he's going to get more runs out of that. I had him last year in the draft, and he got me a crap ton of points.
You picked right after me. Who were you going to take? Was you going to take Montgomery?
I took Cam Akers. I took Cam Akers.
If I wouldn't have took Montgomery, would you have took Montgomery?
You said, "Oh yeah." If you hadn't if Montgomery had been on the board and you didn't take him, yeah, I'd have taken him.
He said, "Sir."
Yeah, he would have gone because I had him last year, and he just got me a lot of points. Okay, so. Those are really kind of some of the surprises I took away from it.
I'm kind of surprised Mike Williams was 40.
Yeah, I thought Tony Pollard going 38 was a little high for him. I thought he could have gone a little lower.
I thought Williams could have went higher than 40.
I mean, Mark Andrews making in the top 30. He was number 27. That was hilarious to me. That was funny. I was like, he's kind of like unless you're gonna be like, oh yeah, he's gonna get a lot of touchdowns. Like,
what's funny, I think, is
because he's not a yardage guy.
I think I'm taking Keenan Allen before I take Mark Andrews.
Yeah, go ahead, Rob.
No, I think what's funny is you see Zeke and Tony Pollard go in the second round. So if Zeke kind of like falls off, I think Tony Pollard's going to be that guy to get the most of the carries this year. I would be hesitant about drafting Zeke this year. That's a kind of 50-50. Yeah. And then I think they're going to play Keenan Allen more in the slot this year. So Mike Williams might take over that number one spot. So that pick by Frankie might turn out to be a good pick because, I mean, he's a big wide receiver. And the Chargers are likely to play Allen, obviously, more in the slot because of his injury history.
In my opinion, Williams is a steal at 40.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely, he's a steal at 40. I thought that was probably one of the better picks in the draft, and where it fell to Frankie was stupid. But yeah, Pride, what's your impersonation? What's your thought process on the second round, man? Are you
so first of all, I just want to, because I either get DeAndre Swift. My thing was I was trying to get Aaron Jones, and if I couldn't get Aaron Jones, DeAndre Swift was my backup. So
yeah, I can understand that.
You know what I mean? So originally I wanted Aaron Jones. I was kind of crossing my fingers and hoping, then Redbeard took it. But I wasn't too mad because, like I said, I still had DeAndre Swift, which I think he's gonna have a heck of a year. But like I said, Mark Andrews, hey, teach their own. Getting Josh Allen already at 24th, like swiggity swooty, that was horrible. Zeke, getting Zeke 29th, that is absolutely hilarious. Like, you might as well just throw away your entire roster, bro. What I do like, number 31, Javonte Williams, I think that's going to be something that's going to be very important to pay attention to, considering who was it? One of the Broncos receivers went out with a torn ACL for the rest of the year.
I think it was might have been Juju or Sutton. Oh yeah, Patrick.
Yeah, and their plan was to highlight Patrick a lot. You know what I mean? That was kind of their thing. So they're probably going to go to a more balanced, maybe even a little more favoriting to the run offense because they have 3,000 running backs on that roster. So,
which was what I'm going to ask you. If you had the opportunity to get a David Montgomery, who is the featured back of Chicago, why would you not go Montgomery above Javonte? I get Javonte, but he's still sharing carries.
I'm going to tell you why. Because in my opinion, I am not going to risk David Montgomery going down for me. It's the same thing about another thing that confused me, Jay. You get Cam Akers out, those Montgomery and Akers, because of the injuries, and more specifically Akers, because after that torn Achilles, he didn't look like himself. When he came back, he didn't really look like himself.
I'll be honest with you. I wanted Pitts. Pitts was the one I was going to pick, and then when he got took, I wanted Montgomery.
Yeah, Pitt. Oh man, that was a great pickup. 35 for James Conner going 35th. I'm not mad at it. If I'm mistaken, I think for running backs, he led the league in touchdowns last year. I think it was something like that. So will he lead it again? No, but I do think he's still going to be up there. You know, my concern really with him is if he goes down, where do you really go from there?
I think Pittman for Lennon was a good pick because I think he's going to have a big year for the
Michael
Colts.
Pittman. Yeah, I thought that was a solid one. Obviously, you already said it. Mike Williams. Mike Williams was a steal.
Yep.
You know who else I thought was actually a steal? Allen Robinson, right before Mike Williams at 39.
Oh, Brady Tinker. He drafted him.
I love that one a lot because this is one of those things that I don't think Allen Robinson is going to have a bad year. I don't think so at all. If anything, I think it's more likely that he gets 1,000 yards because I think it is possible for them to have Cooper Kupp and have Allen Robinson both be 1,000-yard receivers. I do think that's a legitimate possibility. I really do. So I thought that was a great pickup because at worst you're getting a guy who's probably going to give you 800 yards, not bad, and then the upside is him getting you like 1,000 yards or more. Add on 7 touchdowns, maybe even more because we all know how much they love to throw the ball over in the Rams like to. So I definitely did like that one. But Josh Jacobs 37th. Zoinks, man. That's all I got to say about that one. Zoinks.
Well, because I think Zamir White is going to eat into those carries that he's going to have.
I think so too. I don't think that he's going to be the clear-cut number 2 like everyone thinks he's going to be.
Yeah.
That's just
I think Zamir White is going to get into them carries and take it out.
Right. He's going to get and dare I say before I let Gonzo go, if Zeke goes down, don't be shocked if White gets the starts over Tony Pollard.
I can see that. Gonzo, same question, man. Thoughts on round 2?
I thought Mike Williams should have went a lot earlier than 40th. I think that was a big steal by Frankie getting Mike Williams at 40 because he's going to be a weapon.
Yeah.
Scroll back up. I think I wouldn't have took Josh Jacobs in front of some of them guys. Like I said, I wanted Drew Pitts is who I was wanting, and then when Joshua took him,
wanted that tight end bad. I wanted him too, man. Honestly.
So then I went with Montgomery, but I just gotta hope he stays healthy.
I think you're going to be happy with that pick, though. Like I said, I had him last year. I don't know how they're going to change it any differently with this new scheme. But Montgomery really got a lot of points last year. I got to be honest with you. I think you'll like that pick at 32. I think you're going to like that.
So I'll tell you what, a 20-team draft is definitely a hell of a lot different.
It's hard, man. I'm telling you. Hey, it's hard, right?
Hard.
Rob Scott, Big Shot Rob, man. What's your before we get in round 3? What's your thought process on round 2?
I would have taken J.K. Dobbins at 23, man. I had that guy one year. I just don't trust him staying healthy. Gus Edwards is going to come back. Lamar Jackson's going to definitely run the ball. You might see Baltimore throw more this year. I mean, they got Rashad Bateman, the number 1 wide receiver, and obviously, still got Mark Andrews there. So you might see Baltimore start to throw more since these running backs get hurt. Obviously that Josh Allen pick, that was way too early. You didn't see any quarterbacks taken in the second round. And I'm looking at those running backs, Aaron Jones and DeAndre Swift. Those are good second round guys to pick up for RB2s, definitely. I mean, if Dalvin Cook wasn't available at 1 for me, I probably would have taken Joe Mixon. I think Joe Mixon's just going to get a lot of pass catches in that offense with the Cincinnati offense. They're going to be able to move the ball down the field and just get a lot of pass catches if those wide receivers are double covered. I really like Joe Mixon. And go ahead and just scroll down.
Okay.
Scroll down. I'll check out the rest of it. I don't like the Zeke pick at all. Him and
I don't think anybody.
Him and Tony Pollard are like 50-50.
Like that.
Yeah, and then looking at Javonte Williams, I'm hoping he's going to get most of the carries this year. I mean, obviously they're divided between Melvin Gordon. But if he produces more than Melvin Gordon and Melvin Gordon gets hurt, like Javonte is really going to get more pass catching work and obviously most of the running. Jay, I'm looking at your pick, Cam Akers, man. I really hope that guy can just stay healthy, man. I mean, I think he's very good.
Man. Honestly, me
he just has to be able to stay healthy. And then, looking at Michael Pittman, I really like Pittman a lot. He's their clear number one wide receiver. The Colts have the best offensive line in the league. So it's going to give Matt Ryan a lot of time to throw the ball. So I expect a big year from Pittman. I have him in my other league.
Damn it.
Pittman, I have him in my other league. So I thought he was very good. I'm looking at my pick with A.J. Brown. I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a really good year this year. So, I mean, it's just a matter of A.J. Brown's going to be that true number one, or is he going to split it between Devontae Smith? I mean, both those guys could be your ones. I think A.J.'s more the number one, and Devontae will be more the two. Another guy to look out for in the Eagles' offense is definitely Dallas Goedert.
Goddard. Give me 1 second. Right in.
Yeah. Take your time, bro. But now, to piggyback real quick on that A.J. Brown thing, getting A.J. Brown 30 at 36, that the only way you're comfortable taking A.J. Brown is if you think Jalen Hurts is going to be that guy.
Yeah.
That's really the only question I have.
And that's the risk you take, right? I mean,
right,
honestly.
And that is the risk. You know what I mean? So if you really believe Jalen Hurts could be that guy, which me personally, I think Jalen Hurts could be that guy. So I do get it.
And to piggyback on what Pride said, and Pride, I think you know this. If Mike Williams and Allen Robinson are there at 39 and 40, would you not have thought that they might have been better than A.J. Brown? Or was it time to
I was just getting ready to say, I would have took Mike Williams before A.J. Brown.
Well, but
and that's what I was saying. Did time get the better of Rob? That's just what he saw, and he thought that was the best for the time that he had remaining before they went to auto pick.
So this is where it gets weird, because Chris just said that he'll take Mike Williams, right? Thing is Mike Williams going to be healthy?
That's true.
I would rather get only 4 points from A.J. Brown than a DNP from Mike Evans or Mike Williams. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? So it's like each guy kind of has their thing. Like for me, A.J. Brown, again, the only question I really have is this connection with him and Jalen Hurts going to work? Now, I think it will. I think it's more likely that the A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts connection works than Mike Williams does playing bare minimum 11 games. I don't think he's playing 12 or more games.
Do you think that Allen Robinson could be more effective than A.J. Brown with Stafford after Cooper Kupp?
To an extent, but the difference why I give A.J. Brown the nudge is because Allen Robinson, if Allen Robinson goes in there, I did say earlier, there is a chance that he could be, alongside Cooper Kupp and, end up being 1,000-yard receiver next to him. That could be a possibility. But the thing with that is Allen Robinson will have to do that as a number 2. A.J. Brown is a clear cut without a definitive. There's no question, no ifs or buts about it. You don't need no extensions, no question, nothing. He's the de facto number 1, A.J. Brown is.
But let me ask you this. So they took Smith. They drafted Smith at, as high, obviously, as high as they did. You don't think that Smith is going to be – they're not going to try to make Smith the number 1. They're more comfortable making Brown and then making Smith the number 2?
Because A.J. Brown is better.
Okay, I'm not saying that.
You
I'm just asking.
For now. I mean, what if I'm Philly, this is what I would do. I would have A.J. Brown be my number 1. You still got Devonta Freeman, he's still young. It's not like the kid just had his rookie year. It's not like he's got, 6, 7, 8 years on the clock. So he could kind of take some time to mold himself into that clear-cut number 1 guy. So he has time. And again, as the number 2, it's not like is he gonna lose touches? Sure. But it's not gonna be losing touches to the point where he's getting Jalen Reagor touches. You know what I mean? He's not going to get out-touched by Jalen Reagor, pause. You know what I mean? So is he going to lose some touches? Yeah, but even so, I wouldn't be surprised if Philly kind of does like a number 1 week-by-week type of thing where they go, all right, look, these guys, they're, Philly, right? Like, let's say they play Miami, right? And Miami is kind of known a little more on the physical side of things. That's when you go over and, go, hey, A.J. Brown, we might use you, or we might use Javonte's finesse. You know what I mean? Could be a situation where they go kind of week by week.
I get what you're saying. I want to move into round 3 right now because we're about 45 minutes in. I want to go into round 3 real quick, and then of course get you guys' thought process on round 3. So now we see the second quarterback, which arguably behind Allen is probably the second best, for fantasy points, and Justin Herbert, which Frankie got. Again, I think did he take him too soon? I don't know. There's still a lot left on the board. Deontay Johnson went 42 to Brady Tinker. T. Higgins went to Kenny. Cordell Patterson went to Taylor. 45, Clyde Edwards-Helaire goes to Big Shot Rob. 46, DJ Moore goes to Mike. 47, Marquise Brown goes to Lennon. I took Darren Waller, the tight end at that point, at 48. 49, Elijah Mitchell goes to Gonzo. 50, Patrick Mahomes, the third quarterback off the board, goes to Ben. Breece Hall comes off the board to Joshua Bailey at 51. McLaurin goes to Franco at 52. Kittle comes off to Fred at 53. Gabe Davis goes to Nate at 54. Dalton Schultz goes to Logan. Metcalf goes to Dustin. Dawson Knox, the tight end, goes at 57 to Anthony Price. Darnell Mooney goes at 58 to Damian. Lamar Jackson, the fourth quarterback, goes to Pride. Rounding it out.
No. There's only 3 quarterbacks taken. All right, he's a running back. Relax.
Okay. Hey, listen. I'm not gonna argue. And then you have Juju Smith-Schuster at 60 to Redbeard. So it looked like, this round had quite a few QBs / running back.
There you go.
Going round 3. Is it too early to take them? I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at this, and I don't know, Higgins, Deontay Johnson.
If I was going to take a quarterback in the 3rd round, it would be Lamar Jackson because of his running.
That's the only reason why I took him.
That's
honestly the only reason why I took.
I wouldn't have took the other quarterbacks up there that early, but
I mean, at
the end of the 3rd round, I'd have took Lamar Jackson because of his running.
Yeah, I mean,
let me ask you this, guys, a question.
I wanted Darren Waller. It was who I wanted. That was one of my cussing Jay about.
At the tight end position, which is kind of limited to production levels, right? Yeah. You know that Kelsey's off the board. You know that Andrews is off the board. I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm surprised Waller lasted to 48. Unless people maybe people look at the tight end position as a position of like, I don't really care so much. I'll just get what I can get. I don't know, man. I think Waller. Those 3 guys.
I was taking Waller if he was still available. That's who I
listen. I love Darren Waller. I think in terms of talent, he's a top 3.
Hey guys, I gotta go. I gotta go start my show.
All right, see you, Chris.
Be good, brother.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, see you.
Take care, man.
You gonna jump on later, Pride?
If I can find the link, I will.
All right. I think the main card starts at 10.
At 10? Yeah, so I'm gonna have to wait till a little closer to Tennessee.
Prelims are starting now.
Yeah, I think it's
that's UFC.
We'll be done here next week.
Bare knuckle.
Jump on.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, Rob, it's bare knuckle fighting championship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's actually kind of lit, bro.
All right.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Check it out.
All right, see you, Chris.
Be good.
Right.
But I mean, let me ask you this: what do you think about Kenny drafting T. Higgins at 43 when like a DJ Moore is available, Cordell Patterson's available, like I said, a Darren Waller? Would you know that spot is getting limited for production? I mean, like, what do you think about that?
I'll be honest.
Yeah, I think it's.
Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a reach, man. I mean, because you got to try to get those tight ends or running backs, and that Cincinnati offense, man, is so diverse. I mean, you got Jamar Chase, you got Tyler Boyd, you got Joe Mixon. Obviously, Burrow can run when he wants to. T. Higgins might be the forgotten man in that offense. You just never know. Obviously, Chase is 1, and then Mixon probably is your 2, and then after that, it's either Tyler Higgins or Tyler Boyd. So it could be either of those guys. You just don't know.
Right. But let
The
me ask
only
you this,
reason,
right? And
go
maybe, probably this might be a better question. So, for example, so you got Kenny, he takes Higgins, but you got, a Waller, you got a McLaurin. You know what McLaurin's going to mean for Carson Wentz. When you got, let's just look at Waller and McLaurin. How are you taking Hill? Do you really? I mean, is Higgins over those two guys? It blows my mind a little bit.
say that one more time, Jay. I'm sorry.
No, I would say so. He took T. Higgins. But you got Darren Waller and you got, McLaurin, the wide receiver, the number one wideout out of Washington. I thought either one of those two picks would have been better than Higgins at that spot.
Bro.
I mean,
I'll be honest, man. T. Higgins, I'll be honest. Maybe I might catch some flack for this. T. Higgins going 43rd is genius. It's a masterpiece because the last year there were two wide receivers on the Cincinnati Bengals who had 1,000 yards or more receiving. Do you know who they were? Obviously, one is Jamar Chase.
1,000 more yards than what T. Higgins got?
1,000 or more yards, yeah. I'm saying.
Chase and Higgins.
So T. Higgins ain't losing a thing. He ain't gonna lose no touches at all. At least I don't think so. I don't think he's going to lose any. Yeah. Now, is he going to be the number one? No, that's going to be Jamar Chase. But we have seen a few games last year where Jamar Chase took a backseat role because T. Higgins was cooking. And Jamar Chase was like, okay, cool. I ain't mad about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But do you think that T. Higgins outperforms McLaurin? I can see Darren Waller. Maybe you don't take him over Darren Waller because Davante Adams will chew into that. But I mean, when you got a number one wideout like McLaurin, are you really going to take Higgins over number one McLaurin, or to your thought process, does he outperform him even at the number 2 spot?
I think he does.
Okay.
Because in fantasy, there's another thing you got to take into consideration: the situation they're in. That offense, that Cincinnati offense, is the exact same. They're going to go and they're going to run it back the exact same thing. Terry McLaurin's got to relearn his stuff with Carson Wentz.
Right.
He's going to have to relearn it. So all that stuff that he built up with the 3,000 other quarterbacks he played with, he's going to have to relearn Carson's stuff. And Carson's going to have to relearn him. There's going to be a lot of times where they're going to be on 2 different pages. I'm
not trying to cut you off. The reason why I ask these questions, Pride, is not to be argumentative. It's just for anybody out there who's drafting. I want them to hear your opinions so they can make, good decisions.
That way, that's
the reason why I'm asking these questions. Before we get into Ralph, I want to try to get one more round in here before the show's done. But I need to get Rob. Rob, on this round 3, what surprised you the most? What did you think of round 3?
Well, I like Logan's pick of Dalton Schultz. I'm really big on him. I think he's going to have a good year. I know he was hurt like last year. So I'm really big on him. He may even have a better year than Waller. I mean, you never know. But it's just, he just has to stay healthy because I'm really big on Dalton Schultz in that Cowboys offense. They lost Amari Cooper. Now they just have CeeDee Lamb. And obviously you got Elliott and Pollard that'll probably split the carries. So other than, Dak throwing to Lamb, who is he going to throw the ball to? He's going to obviously go to the tight end, Dalton Schultz. So I could definitely see him having a big year. Let me see another guy I'm big on is Gabe Davis. Man, this guy I think is going to be the wide receiver 2 in Buffalo behind Diggs. They don't have whatchamacallit anymore. Cole Beasley, he's gone. They did get Jamison Crowder. They lost what's his name, Emmanuel Sanders. So I think Gabe Davis is going to move into that wide receiver 2 role. Could even be a wide receiver 1 sometimes if Diggs is getting covered a lot, depending on the coverage. You saw Dawson Knox got drafted. So 3 tight ends in the 3rd round. That's pretty good. And those guys are 3 of the best tight ends in the game. But Knox and Schultz would kind of be surprises to me. I mean, we got Kelsey, we got Andrews, we got Waller. Those other guys might seem like little surprises, but I think they're going to have big years. And then, Juju Smith-Schuster, Kansas City. I don't know. it's going to be interesting how Kansas City looks this year with the wide receivers. I mean, because they got Valdez Scantling, they got Juju, they got McCole Hardman, and I'm thinking one other guy. I mean, I took Clyde Edwards-Helaire because I thought he was just the best running back available at that time, and I needed an RB2. And I like how that Kansas City offense is run, but I mean, it's going to be a different Kansas City offense this year without Tyreek Hill. I mean, Travis Kelce is going to be the clear number one, and it's going to be interesting how Mahomes possibly throws the ball around to those other guys. But I mean, Edwards-Helaire is going to get his touches, and he's going to catch some balls this year. So I think he's going to have a good year.
All right, we're going to get into round 4, and at pick 61. We're going back reverse from bottom to top now. You had St. Brown go to Redbeard. 62, Jalen Waddle goes to Pride. You have Burrow go to Damien. Hunter Renfro went to Anthony. A.J. Dillon went to Dustin. Jerry Jeudy went to Logan. Jalen Hurts went to Nathaniel. Braden Cooks went to Fred. Kyler Murray went to Franco. Kadarius Toney went to Joshua Bailey. Kareem Hunt went to Ben. Godwin went to Gonzo. Brady, I took Brady at 73. Godert, tight end goes to Lennon. Hawkinson, another tight end goes to Mike. Rashad Bateman went to Big Shot Rob. Drake London went to Deshaun, went to Taylor. Dak Prescott went to Kenny. Thielen went to Brady Tinker. And then rounding out pick 80 to Frankie, none other than a New England running back. Go figure, Damian Harris. What I thought was this was definitely quarterback heavy in this draft. So if you weren't drafting a quarterback at this point, you're probably not going to wind up with too much. So I can see why people are drafting quarterbacks because they are starting to get down light. Pride, I thought you got an excellent pick with Waddle. That is definitely, I think, a good pick on your part. I thought Damien got a good pick in Joe Burrow. Again, Hunter Renfro, not a bad pick for Price. And then looks like, Hurst went and Cooks go. I thought Brandon Cooks going at 68 to Fred was a good pick because he's going to be the number one for Houston. So I think he definitely got a good spot, Fred, there. I thought Cooks would go much sooner than what he did. Kadarius Toney, that for Joshua Bailey, I got to be honest with you, at 70, that really surprised me. I think that was way too high for him. I think I would have waited a little bit. Kareem Hunt, unless Ben is just desperate for running backs, I thought that was kind of a stretch. And then Godwin, Brady, everything else kind of made sense to me from then on out. But yeah, man, that was my take on it. Pride?
So let me get it out the way. The Kadarius Toney pick was a reach. That was not a good pick in the slightest.
Yeah.
A guy who, as the season went on, started losing touches and now is completely out of favor to the point that they were trying to trade him. I don't see how that's going to go. Dallas Goedert and TJ Hawkinson sat at 74 and 75 respectively. I like those. Those were very solid pickups. I agree with you with the Brandon Cooks thing. I had Brandon Cooks last year, and when he started to feeling comfortable and clicking in that offense, man, he was cooking. He was torching dudes. So
yeah,
100%. I do like that one. AJ Dillon, I think is a very slept on pick. He got him at 65. Dustin did, which I think is I like that a lot. Outside of Kadarius Toney, the only other pick that kind of had me go, was Rashad Bateman. Only because you are now going to a team that is telling us we're going to be run heavy. Why would you take one of their receivers? That's kind of where, for me, I was a little, hey, to each their own, Frankie getting Damian Harris, 80th. I liked it. Can he stay healthy is really the only question I have for him. That's it. But if he stays healthy, getting him at 80 is phenomenal. It'll be phenomenal. So, but overall, it was a solid round.
So, Big Shot Rob, we just kind of heard Pride talk a little bit about being surprised with Bateman going to you at 76. And I got to be honest with you, that's a surprise to me because Thielen was still on the board and he actually went to 79th. I think I got to be honest with you, man. At 76, I'm taking Thielen because I know that, he's going to get whatever Jefferson doesn't get, Thielen's going to get them. And I know Thielen is a big-time touchdown target for Cousins last year. And I know he's going to, even though he's a little older, he's still going to have a big part of that offense. And I think he's a little bit more safer pick than Bateman. What do you think?
Yeah, man. I mean, the draft was just going by so quick, man. I mean, I just had to make a pick, man. I didn't even notice that Thielen wasn't there. I mean, I've had him on past teams. He's been a great wide receiver. He's losing targets to Justin Jefferson, but other than Justin Jefferson, he's the clear number 2 on that team. And just looking at the draft so far to see all the tight ends go, man, I'm kind of wishing I would have got a tight end earlier in the draft, man, because those tight ends went pretty quick. Although I was surprised and was happy to get my quarterback that I got. But yeah, those tight ends, I mean, you got to get those elite tight ends quick before they go off the board, because there's always depth at wide receiver. But now the Bateman pick, it's kind of if Lamar starts throwing the ball more and you don't see Andrews getting the targets as much, Bateman's going to be their clear wide receiver 1. So that's why I took him. He was injured last year. I'm kind of giving him a shot. So we'll see how it goes. But obviously Baltimore's still a run first team. They're going to run with Lamar and Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. But every year it's funny because every year I hear the same thing about Baltimore. Oh, Lamar's going to pass more this year. He's going to pass, and it just never happens. Yep. So I would like to see Lamar be more effective, in the passing game. And he just needs to develop that rapport with Bateman. I mean, he had good rapport with Marquise Brown, but Marquise didn't want to play there anymore.
Right.
So they traded him to Arizona. So now you got Bateman. He's a little bit bigger target. So he's going to give you those targets in the red zone.
Right.
Obviously, Andrews is going to get those targets as well. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But obviously with Lamar Jackson, teams are going to be playing against the run.
Right. Real quick, Pride, I just want to ask you one quick question before you get into round 5. We're going to get through round 5 real quick because I want to have at least 100 drafts picks on there so people can have I figure 100 picks. If you're in a 12-man team, 12-man league, this will get you through a lot of it, and you can kind of see what we drafted. Real quick, Thielen and Amari Cooper. Are you surprised, number one, how low Thielen got drafted, and the fact that we're going into round 5 and Amari Cooper is still on the board?
I'm not surprised that Amari heading into round 5 was still on the board. Because A, he's inconsistent, and B, who's going to be throwing him the ball? Again, situations, right? You now have a situation where you got Jacoby Brissett throwing him the ball. That's going to hurt everyone's stock. If you're any receiver on that team, your stock is getting hurt immediately. There's no ifs or buts about it. So I really wasn't shocked at all. If Deshaun Watson was still playing, maybe I think maybe he ends up going round 3, maybe round 4, perhaps even in round 2. But not being able to have Deshaun throw you the ball and you're now stuck with Jacoby Brissett. Again, I'm only talking about for football purposes. I'm not talking about any extra stuff about what he did or anything like that. But for football purposes, you want Deshaun Watson on your team.
Oh, absolutely. I agree
football, for football purposes, you know. So once they lost him, every single wide receiver on that team, their stock plummeted and the running backs went up. That's why you saw both Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb taken off the board before the 3rd round, I think it was.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you go. There, folks, if you're thinking about drafting with Cleveland, I think Pride makes some really good points that you may want to consider when touching anything that Cleveland has to offer, at least till week 11 when Deshaun comes back. Yep. Okay, so here's real fast. I'm going to go through the 5th round. This is the last round we're going to do. 5th round, Tyler Higbee, tight end, goes at 81 to Frankie. Rashad Penny, running back, goes to Brady Tinker. DeAndre Hopkins goes to Kenny at 83. Zach Ertz at Taylor. At pick 84, Russell Wilson goes to Big Shot Rob at 85. Cortland Sutton goes to Mike at 86. Damian Pierce to Lennon at 87. Amari Cooper, I took him at pick 88. Devontae Smith goes to Chris Gonzo. And then Elijah Moore goes to Ben at pick 90. Trey Lance comes off the board to Joshua Bailey at 91. Chase Edmonds goes to Franco at pick 92. Melvin Gordon goes to Fred at 93. Robert Woods comes off the board to Nate at 95. Aaron Rodgers finally comes off the board at 95 to Logan.
Wow.
Brandon Ayuk goes to Dustin at 96. Miles Gaskin goes to Anthony Price at 97. Tyler Lockett comes off to Damian at 98. Olave goes to Pride at 99. And Russell Gage is pick 100 to Redbeard. And that's how the 5th round unfolded. And I got to be honest with you, the fact that Aaron Rodgers slipped down as far as he did, the only reason I can understand that is because he does have a lot of new wide receivers. And maybe people took that into consideration when
Not
drafting
new,
him
trash
that low.
wide receivers.
Yeah. So maybe that's why they put him there. Russell Wilson, I thought you got a real good pickup. Rob at 85. I thought Russell Wilson was an excellent pickup there. Kenny taking Hopkins at 83. When is Hopkins? When is he coming back?
He's suspended the first 6 games.
Yep.
I think first 6 games, yeah.
Okay.
So likely Marquise Brown will be the number 1.
We'll see in week 7.
Yep. Right.
Okay. I thought Higbee. I get it. He was taking Higbee because he needed a tight end, and I think he was after positional, maybe better than what's actually on the board, best available. Trey Lance going 91. Trey Lance going over Aaron Rodgers is what kind of surprised me a little bit, and that's just my takeaway. But Pride, I'm going to ask you this before you get into your observation of week 3 or round 5. I mean, Lazard is a wide receiver we know with Green Bay. How do you think he's going to – because I took Lazard, but much rounds later. How do you think he's going to fare with Green Bay?
I think he'll thrive if you're playing a team like the Texans. If you're playing a team – heck, maybe even Cleveland. Team like that, you might be able to – he'll have some. Against Tampa, against the Rams, Chargers, Bills, he's not going to do absolutely anything.
Okay.
So for me, it's like a situational lineup thing. If he's facing a poor defense, go ahead and throw him in there. If he's facing any solid or up defense like Miami, I'm not starting him.
No, I got you.
So,
yeah.
You think Randall Cobb is going to get more?
Your opinion for anybody that was thinking about touching Green Bay and the wide receivers, that kind of lets put Green Bay wide receivers towards the end of your draft if you plan to take them. Rob, hold on one sec, because I'm going to have you wrap up this round, and then we're going to get out of here. Pride, give me your take on this round, and then Rob will go, and then we get out.
I'd probably Higbee. I liked it. Deandra Hopkins. So I looked it up just to verify. 6 games. So he's out for 6 games. So with him being out 6 games, this is more of a situation where Kenny Cotter says, all right, I like how my team is looking. I'm okay. I am willing to wait and be 4-2 and go get D-Hop back. Another one that kind of, you take it Amari, 88, I would have been okay with it if you still got Deshaun. However, Amari still being the clear-cut number 1 is, even though if they throw the ball very few, Amari's probably still going to be the number 1, right? Because he can run routes, right? So he can do enough to stay short. So that way you got to risk throwing that ball. So that's fine. Trey Lance at 91. This is what happens when you wait to draft a quarterback. You're stuck with Trey Lance. Okay? So do not wait to get someone, because once you have to wait to get someone, You get like and like I don't mean to make fun of Josh, but do you know who his two quarterbacks are?
Obviously, Trey Lance is one of them. I don't know the other one.
Jared Goff.
Oh yeah,
I like Jared Goff, but for fantasy purposes, you're screwed. I like Jared Goff, but for fantasy purposes, you're screwed. I do like the Chase Edmonds pickup, 92, because I think by week 2, Chase Edmonds will be the solidified number 2, right behind James Conner, and I believe there'll be times where a couple games he'll get more touches than James Conner. Robert Woods.
Chase Edmonds is on the Dolphins. He's on the Dolphins. Chase
my
Edmonds.
fault. I'm a bot. Don't listen to me.
Yeah.
Don't listen to me. I meant behind Gaskins. What am I talking about? I'm a bot. My fault. I meant behind Gaskins. Don't listen to me. I'm a clown. But
it's all right, man. You good?
You know what I mean? Appreciate Big Shot Rob here. You know what I mean? Because if not, I would have went by like nothing.
I didn't think you were a clown. I was just waiting to see what you said next.
Woo! I was gonna go by like an idiot. But yeah, Gaskins, my fault. And then Aaron Rodgers 95 again. I get it, it's Aaron Rodgers, but do you really want to go get Aaron Rodgers when his two best receivers are an old Randall Cobb and Alan Lazard? Rob, you were asking a question like, do you think
Randall Cobb is going to get more targets?
Honestly, I think so, but only because of the familiarity that Rodgers has with Randall Cobb. I think that's the only reason why I think he starts off getting more touches. But he's older.
He'll be in the slot too.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So, and you know how much Aaron occasionally sometimes wants to throw the deep ball. When he throws the deep ball, Randall Cobb won't be there. You know, it's going to be Lazard. So it's going to be interesting. Brandon Ayuk at 96. I think that's a great pickup. Depending if he pisses off Kyle Shanahan, let's see if he actually gets, play time or anything. But yeah, Russell Gage at 100. That's risky a little bit, because that all really depends on the health of Chris Godwin, right? Like if he kind of takes a step back, then sure, maybe he can kind of, weasel in there and get some good receptions, but I don't know about that one. Chris Olave, 99. I don't know who picked up Chris Olave, but whoever did is a very smart individual. This individual is very intelligent. No, honestly, I got Chris Olave because I don't know. I just feel like when it comes to the deep balls, he's gonna be their man. I don't know.
And you know how New Orleans loves to throw the deep ball.
You know how Jameis loves to throw the deep ball, right? So when Jameis wants to go throw that deep ball, I feel like Chris Olave is gonna be the one who's out there. You know what I mean? So it's going to be very interesting to see, By the way, I also did pick up Jameis Winston. When did I pick up Jameis? Hold on. I actually did pick up Jameis Winston. And
who got Jameis?
Me. Like, no, I actually picked up Jameis Winston. 139th. Nice. I picked him up in the 7th round.
Nice. Big shot, Rob, man. You're going to round this out for us, and we're going to get out of here, man. What was your thought process? Well, let me before you give me that, I want to say this. I was thinking about taking Javonte Smith at that spot, but man, I kept thinking about Amari being maybe the number 1. But then again, I took a chance there with Amari. Maybe Devontae, because I know Devontae, like you said, if Brown, if Hurts comes out and lights it up, and Brown's like that number 1 guy, get it, then the Smith's gonna get the guard. I don't know. I think, Gonzo's either going to look like a hero or I'm going to look like a zero. We'll find out, I guess, when the season comes to fruition. But Big Shot Rob, round up this round 5 for us.
Yeah, I mean, you were saying, I think if Cleveland had Deshaun Watson, obviously Amari Cooper would be way up there more because he's the clear wide receiver 1. It's kind of surprising to me seeing Trey Lance get taken over Aaron Rodgers. I mean, nobody would think that in a million years, probably, the way Aaron Rodgers has been the MVP. Myles Gaskin as the second running back. I kind of like Raheem Mostert over him. But the problem with Raheem Mostert is he's been hurt a lot, But I think once he gets himself healthy, he and Chase Edmonds are going to split those carries. And don't forget, you also have Sony Michel. So that Dolphins backfield is going to be very crowded. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how many running backs they actually keep. You know, if they even keep Myles Gaskin, or which running backs they actually get rid of. You know, because they do have a crowded backfield. That's why I like to always get myself a clear cut number one running back, and then maybe have my RB2 as a guy that might split carries with someone else. So yeah, and my pick of Russell Wilson, you know, I just thought it was time for me to get a quarterback, and he was. I thought he was the best one available. He's in Denver. Obviously, he has new weapons. But I think that Denver offense is going to be very good this year. You got two good running backs. You have Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon, and you know it's just up to Russell to develop that rapport with those wide receivers, Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton, and also the new tight end that they got. So let me see here. Russell Gage, I like him. I'm just a little bit worried about that Tampa offensive line, and giving that Brady the protection. I think if they're able to give Brady the protection, I think Gage is going to have a good year. I actually took Julio Jones in one of the later rounds, which is kind of a reach. I might be regretting that pick. I mean, they might use Julio only in special situations, maybe in the red zone or something like that. Tyler Lockett at number 98. I'm worried about him this year, only without Russell Wilson, and you know they have Drew Lock and Geno Smith. Chris, Pride. I hope your guy does well, man. Chris Olive, the Saints guy. Hopefully he's the deep guy for them. Don't forget, you know, the Saints have Jarvis Landry there and Michael Thomas. So, you know, if one of those guys gets hurt, your guy's going to be that top guy there. So if you just want to scroll up, I could look at the top a little bit, and then we'll just end it there.
Trey Lance at 91. I'll never get over that.
Yeah, I'm hoping Cortland Sutton will stay healthy for me, man. You know, because he might be the number one of them, the number two, depending on who Russell likes more, Jeudy or Sutton. So we'll see. Ertz, I like that pick at 84. I think he's often like a tight end that gets forgotten about, you know, because he's not with Philly anymore. But he's a good target for Kyler Murray. Obviously, DeAndre Hopkins. If you got him, you know, you better have picked up one of the other Arizona wide receivers, like maybe Marquise Brown or a decent wide receiver in between. Rashad Penny from the Seahawks. Again, I'm just worried about that offense at the quarterback position. So I think Seattle's going to run the ball a lot more this year, but they're going to be just like strictly one-dimensional. And then looking at Tyler Higbee, he's another like underrated tight end that's in a very good offense. So he's going to get a lot of targets. And, you know, I took a tight end in one of the later rounds, hoping one would be available. But then, you know, I'm kind of thinking now that I should have probably just taken one in one of the earlier rounds. But I took Gerald Everett. You know, I think he could be good in that Chargers offense. So, I mean, we'll see. So those are my thoughts right there.
You know, what's interesting to me is Tanyan was still available on the board, and he just came back. He was hurt last year, but he was a really big red zone target for Aaron Rodgers. And I'm surprised that, you know, he lasted as long as he did. I thought Tanyan might go a little higher up in the tight end realm. But either way, man, those are the 100 picks of a 20-person draft. And as you can see, that's how we drafted. Hopefully that gives you kind of an idea of what the 20 guys here thought about the draft. A lot of surprises in it, a lot of good things in it. I do want people to know that in your league, you may have some auto drafts in there. And I think in our league, some of those suspect picks were most likely probably auto draft. And I don't think they draft or rank their people probably down. I'm hoping they didn't rank them down long enough. So keep in mind that when you're drafting in your leagues, that auto pick can help you out or hurt you. Depends. I don't know. But that's how we drafted.
I never draft auto pick, man. Not for my real team. Maybe I'll do it like on a mock draft or something, man. But
yeah,
you don't trust me. You don't want to draft auto draft. You want to be able to pick your own team and guys you like. But sometimes you might get lucky if you do like auto draft. I mean, if you can't make the draft, I mean, obviously you want to get a team, so obviously you have no choice but to do auto draft. But I always like picking my team, no matter what position I am. So that's just me.
And
all right, folks, we're gonna go into
real quick
No, that's it. We're going into final thoughts.
Okay.
So, Pride, I'm gonna let you start out the final thoughts. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Yeah, and just to piggyback off what Rob said, even if you want to do random at the bare minimum, you know, if you don't want to pick and you kind of just want to do, at least just queue up your guys so that way if you pick someone, it's someone that you actually kind of like.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm projected to go 7 and 9, so you know.
Same here.
Yeah,
They gave me a 20% chance to make the playoffs, and we'll see what happens. But projections are always false, man. Don't trust projections. I mean, no matter what these fantasy experts tell you, these gurus, they're always wrong. They're going to tell you who to play. I mean, just go with your head or go with your heart, you know, and then maybe you might get lucky one week, maybe you won't. But, I mean, you got to go with your own instincts, you know, and how much you know of the game of football with the players especially. So.
Yeah, and then, because real quick, I wanted to see, because they actually gave me a, what's it called? A percentage. So I'm sorry, I'm projected to go 7 and 8. Okay, I'm projected to finish 12th. Yeah, they gave me a B for my draft grade, whatever.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I'm. There's a 36.8% chance I make the playoffs, 9.5% chance to make the championship, and 4.8% chance that I actually win the championship game. Look here, I love those odds. Okay, I had a 3.1% chance of getting with my fiance. Look where I am now. F the odds. Okay, F them.
I hear you, man.
I hear you. I love it. So those are final thoughts for Pride. Actually, pretty good final thoughts. I think I like that. The odds of him getting the fiance, and then the 4.8, which is a higher odds of this. I mean, quite honestly, I think it's freaking amazing. Big shot, Rob, man. Last things. Anything else you got to say before I close this out?
Yeah, man. With fantasy football, man, it's not about how you draft your team, but how you manage your team during the year. So make sure you stay up on that managing, you know, ads, drops, trades. I mean, anything to make your team better. You can't just draft your team and expect to win a fantasy championship just by drafting your team thinking you got the perfect team, because injuries happen. You know, there's always something. Guys get traded, guys get suspended for doing some stupid stuff or whatever. So, I mean, it's the NFL, man. It's unpredictable, man. You know, that's why they call it fantasy football. It's not real football. It's only a fantasy.
Hey, no, but that's true.
I like that one, Rob.
Truth in that. Hey, there's a lot of truth. I think it's, you know, I think being successful and winning a championship in a league, you know, it's 50%. I think it is how well you draft, and 50%. I think like what Rob said, how well you manage it. You know, I mean, are you making sure you get the right guys in at the right time, and things like that. So it is what it is. And like Rob said, don't always go by these experts, because I think if you go by the experts, you're already a done deal and lost and cooked. I think go with your gut. All right, folks, it's been your boy Jay McLovin, Pride, Big Shot Rob, Gonzo, talking about how we drafted, and as you can see what we did and how we drafted. And I hope this helps you guys out when you do your draft. Until next time, it's your boys at Unscripted. We'll see you later. We out of here.